This is a essay or video of a written essay that is available on PLN's SCRBD page. The link to the written article is available in the YouTube video's description box. For a limited time, there will be weekly semi-serious essays about behavioral technology and what could happen, what has happened, and what is happening. Whether you read the essays or watch the essay, hope you get something out of RX's musings on behavioral technology. This week's essay is Eternal Sunshine of the Brainwashed Mind.
The movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind shows a guy named Joel meeting a girl who is his opposite and eventually dating her. The relationship is rocky, and it ended with Clementine, the girlfriend, going to a specialist to erase Joel from her memory. Joel finds out and goes to the same specialist to erase Clementine from his mind. The memory erasing process involved the use of a tape recorder to talk about his relationship with Clementine and his brain being mapped while he viewed significant items that evoked memories of Clementine. Joel was then sent home and told to go to sleep while specialists came in during the night, put some mechanical device on his head, and short-circuited the memory points while he slept. During the procedure, Joel decides that he doesn't want to forget Clementine and tries to save his memories of her. It doesn't work, but he and Clementine somehow meet again and start a new relationship. I came across an article from 2014 where a neuroscientist thought the same thing I did after seeing this movie. Is it possible to erase memories like in the movie? The neuroscientist experimented with creating a fearful experience in a rat and then using some kind of drug to erase the fear response. The article ended with, "The day when scientists can erase these kinds of conscious memories may be a long way off." Little did they know, it has already been done. Ever since I saw the movie, I always thought about such a technology being discovered really soon. But how? How could anyone do that? Then came Dr. Ewan Cameron's research. I watched the movie again with its medication, sleep, and tapes. It came across very similar to Cameron's work. Cameron used a technique called psychic driving to access a patient's memories. In Brainwashing's Avatar, The Curious Career of Dr. Ewan Cameron by Rebecca Lamov, she wrote, "What was psychic driving? The technique entailed playing for the patient over and over a loop of one of her own statements from therapy, a key 5 to 7 second long statement on a major topic. Cameron devised a cassette tape player that would deliver messages to patients either from under their pillows while they were in forced sleep or from inside a wired football helmet. After 30 minutes of playing the tape or driving, a marked penetration generally occurred, making hitherto inaccessible psychological material accessible to the therapist. That is, the driven patient experienced an escalating state of distress that often caused her to reveal past experiences or long-buried disturbing events. In the movie, the specialists used computer brain mapping to access the parts of the brain where the aroused memories seemed to occur. It was a high-tech version of what Cameron tried to do. Dr. Cameron was able to create a spotless mind through brainwashing around the 1960s. If his technology had advanced, it might have looked a lot like the movie's procedure. The advanced brain mapping to target certain areas of the brain where the memory occurs, the use of items to find those locations through inciting the memory, the person's own recorded narrations, all being used to erase memories through a mechanical device while the person slept. I hesitated to write this article because it made a connection between the movie and Cameron's research. I feared that someone would actually attempt it. Worse, that the general public would actually go for these types of medical procedures if it was possible. However, I figured it would be better to talk about the implications than to wait for it to happen and then discuss it. At the end of the movie, Joel regrets trying to erase the relationship from his mind. He and Clementine, his ex-girlfriend, decide to reunite. It goes to show that if some kind of targeted memory eraser procedure was developed, people might actually regret erasing those memories. Done in the heat of an argument or impulsivity in Clementine's case, without thinking it through, would lead to regrets. It seemed as if Joel and Clementine may have only needed time to work things out. In that way, the procedure seemed to be a waste of time. Now, the reason that will sell a targeted memory eraser procedure will be the ability to erase painful memories such as a rape, war memories for veterans, or other bad memories that people can't get over. Who wouldn't want a quick fix for these things? It even seems humane to offer a quick fix like this, an electronic happy pill. However, the whole process of psychological healing and where memories actually live is unknown. Sure, scientists can see brain activity and say some beliefs on the screen are where memories originate, but memories carry an emotional content. Furthermore, emotions are a rather diffuse sensation with a complex mixture of certain physical and mental reactions. It is hard at this point in time to pinpoint exactly where the memories are and know if short-circuiting known points will completely erase the memory or its effects. To attempt this with modern scientific information is to undergo more experiments similar to Cameron's, where no one will know where things will lead. I don't think anyone wants a repeat of Cameron's mistakes. If I were a journalist, I would not pass up the opportunity to talk to real-life subjects of the elusive and supposed conspiracy theory known as MKUltra. Although it is a documented fact, MKUltra has been labeled a conspiracy theory because the government supposedly deemed it a failure and shut it down in the early 1970s. If you believe that MKUltra was a failed experiment, then I have a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. Maybe Cameron wasn't able to fill his patients' brainwashed minds with his recordings, but he was able to completely wipe out their memories. For some of his patients, he literally washed their brains of most of its content. As a journalist, I would find Cameron's former patients and ask about their experience. They are very valuable because they are survivors of recent barbaric psychiatric human experimentation done in the West. The public seriously needs to hear their stories. Any journalist who attempts this has to be careful because these are people that two governments want swept under the rug. So anyone with a broom and dustpan might become a person of interest or POI. Who knows how much damage Cameron's patients endured during the experiments? One of his patients said that when she started to think about it, her mind told her not to go there. Another patient seemed to have gotten her old self back, which could lead to some people speculating that Cameron's procedure worked in restoring her. However, this patient was brainwashed to the point where she had to be potty trained again. She left the hospital with her postpartum depression gone, but so were her memories. She had to be told who her children were and seemed to have lost her emotional connection to them. It was through the hard work of her loving family that she was able to regain some sense of her old identity. Cameron may have erased her postpartum depression, but he left her with new anger issues about what he did to her. Even though Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind brings up interesting ideas about erasing specific memories, it may not be an easy, quick fix. Memories are interconnected, and the mind is aware when something is wrong. What if an erased memory was linked to a memory that was meant to be kept? Would the mind always feel lost because it realizes there was a missing component? Life is a continuum, and so are memories. What happened yesterday or even last year probably has an impact on what happens today. If a targeted memory eraser procedure is ever developed, society should proceed with caution. The puzzle of life is already complicated enough, but when pieces of the puzzle are missing, it makes it harder to put it all together.